What's up, my peoples? It is your boy AMG here, and today we're talking about episode 23 of Run with the Wind, titled In the Wind. Now, the episode starts off with Kakeru running and just enjoying himself like usual. Going off because he was running faster than the wind, hence the name of the anime. But anyway, moving on. And we see Fujioka, which is the God King runner. He's running too. And we already know that from last episode, he is trying to beat the course record. Now, he is running. He is in rare form as usual. That is why I call him the God King runner in the first place. And he's just doing amazingly. Well, we finally see him cross the finish line. And he beat the course record and got 1 hour and 9 minutes. Now, he beat the course record in his 4th year. He said he was going to, and he did, which is amazing. I mean, you stating something that huge, and then you're definitely able to pull it through, and then basically back up your words. And, he did amazing. And everyone was like, this is a great end to his 4th year. Well, we see Kakeru running. Kakeru told him that within 10, you're going to be beating me by 10 minutes. You're going to start 10 minutes before me. But once I cross that finish line of our section, I am going to beat you. Kakeru's running. He's doing amazingly. And we see Haji seeing him run towards the finish line. And he's looking at him and he's just like, the epitome of running is you. He was like, when I look at running, you are running. Basically what he's saying in his head. He didn't tell Kakeru that, but And Kakeru's just running, looking happy, enjoying himself. Kakeru runs across the finish line. Haji takes the sash. There is no, verbal exchange between them like everybody else has had, but probably more of a mental exchange because we already know they're pretty much on the same wavelength. And so Haji takes off running. Now, Prince is jumping up and down, talking to Kakeru like, dude, you're amazing. You did it. Kakeru beat Fujioka, the God King runner, and beat him by 1 second. So it was 1 hour, 8 minutes, and 59 seconds. He beat him by 1 second, even though that's not very big. But for a freshman to beat basically the king of running in college, that is amazing. So now Kakeru is on top, basically. And he said he was going to beat him, and he did. And we see Kakeru just excited and happy, and he takes off because he wants to get to the finish line so he can see Haji finish. And so he's dragging, Prince along, and Prince is like, yo, but I don't want to run no more. That's funny. That's real funny. And they're just, running to go see Haji at the finish line. And we see Haji running, and him thinking back on his past, like, thinking about his dad and everything else, and his friends, and him just loving running and wanting to do it again and being hurt and not being able to do it, and then going to college and finally doing it because he got tired of not wanting to do something he loved. And finally, he got the chance to do it again. So he starts running, enjoying himself, smiling, having fun. And we hear his knees start to ache. We start to hear it creak. And people who don't know, people who got reoccurring injuries, or me myself, I have arthritis in my knees, I can hear it when I run or jog or when I wake up in the morning. You can hear it say creak. And it's crazy to hear that kind of sound or pop. It's crazy to hear this kind of sound when you're, made of flesh and bone. Like, nothing should be sounding like that in your body, especially since you're not made of metal. And, he's feeling this, and he's talking to his leg. He's like, I'm sorry I'm putting you through all this. Basically talking to his body like some people do. So, And he's running. He's enjoying himself, just thinking about everybody. Just thinking about everything. Just happy that he gets to run again. Thinking about how much he loves running. And he gets to the finish line. And he's running. And his knee starts to hurt again. His knee, I think, actually cracks or pops. I'm not entirely sure because there wasn't really a sound that I heard from it. It just was maybe more of him buckling. And he's at the finish line. And we can see, Kakeru looking at him just waving. And Kakeru sees him and starts to cry because he sees the pain he's going through. He sees, even though he's smiling, he can see the pain and how much he's sweating and how much he's hurting, really. And Kakeru was just like, yo, man, like, this is wow. It was like, when you ask, what is running? Running is you. Kakeru says basically the same thing that Haji said about him while he was running. So they feel the same way. So that's crazy. And we see Haji get across the finish line. They have made it to the 10th spot, which is why Haji was running so fast. So they can get a place in Hokkaido Hakiden for next year. For all the people next year, we're going to run another team. So they don't have to go through all the qualifiers and everything else. Even though knowing Haji, if he's still there, he would definitely make them go through it anyway. Because he's kind of a masochist with that type of stuff. So that's kind of funny. But anyway, so they get through it. They make it to the 10th spot. He crashes to the ground. And, Kakeru's arms, because he is tired and exhausted and his knee hurts. Everybody sees him. Everybody from the shopping district who was supporting him and everything, they see him. They're happy. We see everybody crying. We see, the old man coach. We see the people who were in the grocery district who was being their support system. We see, all the other runners actually crying. That is on the team for Haji. Because they made it. They made a spot. They made it to the highest point they could. Especially since they only did 6 months of running. And they got that for literally only 3 of them were ever runners before. The rest of them never did any kind of running. Except the twins who played soccer. So that's crazy for them to do that freaking well. And it's on their first try, too. That is amazing. And then we skip to the last scene of the episode, where it is 3 years later, and everybody looks older, and we see Musa, he looks like a doctor, and we see everybody else, and they're just, all grown up and everything. And I forgot that Prince was actually a second year when everybody else was a freshman. So he actually graduated with everybody else. So 3 years later, this is when Kakeru and the twins are in their 4th year. And we also see that neither one of the twins left, because we saw last episode that JoJo was talking about leaving, but he didn't. So that's cool too. Then we see they come back, everybody has liquor, and they're enjoying themselves. And everybody asks, Musa, so wait, which one of the twins did Hana say she liked? It's been 3 years, dude. And he's like, that's gonna be up to me and Hana to decide if we want to tell you. And I'm like, yo, bro, you dirty for that. And Prince is like, get him, looking like a reborn mob boss and stuff. Like, that is so funny. And we see everybody, enjoying themselves. And it's cool that they had that friendship after all these years. And actually, it seems like that Haji is the new coach of the team, which he pretty much was in the first place, because the old man didn't really do anything at all. He was just there, really. He really didn't give no advice. Like, he didn't do anything. Like, which is why in the other episodes they were talking about how he never did anything, really. But anyway. And then we see that they're going to run, and they have a whole bunch of new runners. Not just the 10. There is at least 30 of them now, which is amazing. And sorry if you guys hear my dog barking right now. Someone's probably walking past my door, and he does not like that. So, but anyway, back to the episode. And, we see that they have a whole bunch of runners, which is pretty amazing. I'm happy that they got a boost in rank, but after they got to Hokkaido again, of course everybody's going to try to run now. But you still wasn't the day ones, so you don't matter. Anyway. So, we see them all running. And that was the end of the episode. Man, I cannot tell you how much I love sports anime. And, them being a hiatus from Haiku and everything else, because they haven't been doing episodes or seasons. And, dude, this was an amazing, not even a filler replacement. This is a standalone by itself. This series is amazing, bro. That's all I can say. Now I'll leave you with these parting words. What is strength? What is running? What is living? It is all beyond the wind. I'll see you next time, sports anime fans. I'm AMG, and I'm out. Peace.